now on the microphone.
Thank you for introducing us. We are the Algorithm Avengers, and we develop tools for investigative journalism. Before explaining those tools, quick ideas, quick goals that we kept in mind while developing them. We wanted to increase the creativity of investigative journalists, not to remove it from their job. We wanted intuitive, easy to use tools, also that could be used in all phases, and that removes complex computation from task for investigative journalism. Also, we will have one evolving examples to show what our tools can do. So, first step is to find an inspiration. We developed numerous metrics based on aggregated statistics, and based on those statistics, we get this heat map. And in this heat map, we can choose example Trump, and we see that here was a significant increase calculated from these metrics. So, we will look at the date 5th of the February, and we will find the most interesting topics. Too long, don't read. It is mostly about Gaza. So, now suppose that we found our inspiration with Trump and Gaza. We have the step number 2, which is finding potential connections. This algorithm is very complex, and it utilizes machine learning and natural language processes techniques. So, how does it look? It creates a ring topology, and it looks somehow like this. Okay, this is, I said, is intuitive, easy to use. This is obviously not it. So, to give you an intuition how it works, we have the main entity, which is in this example Trump, right? And closer to the Trump, the entities, keywords, the more connection it has. But this purple zone, we call it the boring zone, because no one's surprised that Trump is close to Musk or Harris. Then we have the red zone, which is very few connections, so also not interesting to look into it. Then we have the green zone. We have, for example, Janko Šmolko, who might be interesting to look into, right? And for our Trump and Gaza, we have found hundreds of entities. Also, for this example, we created an interactive graphical interface, so journalists can play this with this and find some other results. Then we have the third step, which is find hidden connections. This works on these principles. We have some suspicion. This means we have ABC company, and we have a suspicion that it has some leak connection with this information. However, there is no document. If there would be, the investigative journalist would have no job. So, what do? We develop an algorithm which we call a perfect intersection. So it works like this. Using machine learning and natural language processes, we calculate some kind of index for all articles, and combine them based on transformers and keywords, and find the connections which somehow other way intersects them, right? This is the result, and from our example, if we try to run from Trump, and from our example we had Trump. Also, to add to this into this intersection, we can put more than 2 entities. We can be n entities, and found some perfect intersection. And from this result, from this query found these results. Some may sound absurd, but we really find some queries that connect with connects Trump with some other stuff like Apple stock and so on. So we have the fourth and the last, our tool, which somehow calculates or predicts the stock price based on the number of articles. However, at this step, we need to take into consideration that some of the political activity may not immediately influence the stock, right? So we have some algorithm which can shift the stock value and the number of articles, because there might be some chain of events, and after, let's say, 2 weeks, it influences the stock. And based on our previous result, we wanted to look based on Donald Trump political activity. We found out that indeed it influenced the stock of Apple. I wanted to emphasize on that all those results we found, they are all legit. So this was just a quick explanation about our tools, and we just give you some, because we had to do it in a rush, so we give you some inspiration what you can ask us. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
I have two questions. The first one is, can you elaborate more about how you place those entities in those zones, boring zone, green zone, and red zone?
You mean this one? Okay, so we have an entity. This is our main entity trunk, right? This is our query which we are looking for. This entity is based on the number of connections. So maybe I didn't mention it because of lack of time, but we calculate an index which takes into consideration all keywords, and using natural language algorithms, we get from those all entities like company, name, place, everything, and yes, basically everything. And the closer it is, the more connection it has, right? And maybe even more to emphasize on this, we also use some machine learning practices and statistical analysis to find exactly this sweet green spot. Because if we use all this, it is just garbage. But this is, I'd say, not maybe. This is much cleaner, yeah. And also there are some other functionality.
Yeah, I'm still a bit confused, but my question was about how exactly does it connect to the last, to the stock prices? Because I mean, the investigative journalism, I would be happy with the search step in my opinion, like, okay, there is a connection between something and something else. Why did you actually go to the stock at all? I don't get that.
Okay, so we were trying to illustrate all of our tools. As was said previously, these tools were developed to increase some kind of potential creativity for investigative journalists. And we developed an algorithms which calculate somehow correlation. And how do we get into this correlation? Why do we want to look at Donald Trump activities and stock price of Apple, right? This is the question.
Yeah, so this is essentially, you say it's step 4, but it's actually just like another tool which kind of like does something.
Yes. There is a job for investigative journalists to somehow connect those events and to find the story, yes. And also, maybe just to emphasize, it is just the correlation, so there might be many other influences, so the causality is up to investigative journalists.
Yeah, I saw and heard that and you did so much things there, like 4 applications instead of 1, so good job. Thank you.
So I really like that you look at the SNA. Did you, can you name any of the techniques which you used on those graphs, or did you only try to visualize it to help the journalist?
Sorry, graphs, which graphs? This one?
Yeah, oh no, I mean graphs, yeah.
Like this one, you mean, for example, this one?
Yeah, because it seems like you went into the social network things. Does it make sense in any way?
Okay, so as I said, we have some the main entity, the query Trump, right? And the closer it is to Trump, the more connection it has. So therefore, Trump and Musk are very close together.
Okay.
Right?
And what algorithm do you use to arrive at the rings?
Sorry, one more time.
So these are multiple rings, right? From inner to outer.
Yeah, we actually went through corpora of the articles in the last few months, and we calculated. We made an index based on named entity recognition, and as an investigative journalist is probably mainly focused on connections between people and companies. We mainly also focused on these entities, so we scraped through those articles, ran a named entity recognition algorithm on those articles, extracted these keywords, these people and companies, and based on them, we computed how many times they were in the same article. So for lack of time, we only used a title and an abstract of each article, which has a pretty positive side effect, which is that if a person and a company is mentioned in a title or in abstract, it probably means that these are also like the main. This is the main focus of the article. So the distance between like the central query and the outer ring depends on how many articles these two keywords were in. So, for example, Trump and Musk were in many articles together, but Trump and Andrej Babiš were not in so much.
Okay, and can we go to the next slide? Okay, next. Next. Yeah, this is the one with two graphs. So the top graph, the one with two graphs, the next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, this one. So the top slide, you have like example of Trump stock versus Apple, but I see you like in the sheet you used like Altman and Microsoft, I think.
Yes. It is possible that we changed it, but at the presentation we decided to choose another let's say story, because in fact we tried to use some kind of illustrative example in the repo, but to further stick with this example of Trump, we decided to do Trump and Apple, and we found that connection very late, so we were not able to change it.
Okay.
Thank you guys.